Hello everyone, this is Sayer G from GreenMedInfo, and I'm really excited to announce that we have now introduced to the world our new research dashboard. So when you go to GreenMedInfo.com, you're not really going to see any longer the blog articles just rolling forward. You're going to see the heart and soul of the original mission, which was to make available to the public all of these amazing research abstracts from the National Library of Medicine that support the basic advocacies that many of our fans have, which is to support the use of foods and supplements and natural traditional herbs for the prevention and treatment of disease. We have technically over 10,000 health topics now indexed, and below, in order to make it easier to grasp sort of the breadth and depth of the research, we have these indexes. These indexes are a way for you to see what has sort of risen to the top as far as the most evidence on our site to support the sort of use of these substances in natural medicine, and hopefully the future of medicine, which is going to be more of a functional, integrative type of practice. Now, therapeutic substances, we have 1,689 of them. You will see topmost, of course, are culinary herbs and spices as a meta-category. 1,457 articles, in fact, there. Turmeric, you're going to see 2,331 different abstracts supporting its potential role in over 800 diseases. Here we have the ailments and conditions index, 3,017 different ones. Cancer, of course, is the topmost. Problem substances, that includes things like gluten and drugs and bisphenol A. Go further down, and you will see therapeutic actions. So those yoga teachers out there who want to see all the research, or Tai Chi, or what's the value of sunlight exposure, or the Mediterranean diet. And then you have pharmacological actions, things like antioxidants, cardioprotective agents, liver protecting. Adverse effects, so if you're looking at what substances we found that are most carcinogenic based on the research. Or problematic actions like vaccination. We have hundreds of studies now on adverse effects associated with common vaccines or radiotherapy. So what we've done essentially is bring all the research together, provided a way for you to look at all of these different categories. And then, of course, this is just the beginning, because you can go up here, type in statins like this, and you can jump right to what you want, or statin alternatives. Or you can click directly on one of these nodes, like turmeric, and you'll find an entirely dedicated database portal for just turmeric. Okay, we'll take a breath now. And here is the database. Now you can see that at this point, this is a view that anyone on the planet can access. And so too for the functions so far described. Now what we have here is a way for you to look at all the abstracts, but of course you'd have to spend a month just scrolling down to try to look at each one. So we've created some filtering options, like sorting by publication date, or sorting by alphabetizing these fields here. Also sort by study type. But essentially what we have created behind a membership wall is additional features. And why have we done this? Well, two reasons. One is that without some form of membership-driven support, there's no way that this database would exist. I mean, I spent myself tens of thousands of hours in front of a computer just creating the original data, and then having worked on it with my partner Cameron for 5 years of development, it has taken a huge amount of resources just to produce. And at present, because our database serves just in the article views alone close to 1 million views, and has so for the past 4 years, we've had to find a way to pay for the multiple servers that support this project. And our project, by the way, is always growing. We're adding studies every day. My goal is to get to 50,000 abstracts by the end of this year. We'll see if we can do that. So again, that's one reason why we have membership upgrade options, is we would love your support, but we also wanted to make it compelling. And that's hopefully what you'll see here. So let me log in. And by the way, if you're new to this site, you can go and see the different versions of our membership to see if you maybe would like to support us. I'm going to log in, and you will see some a new way of basically accessing the data. which I think is going to be powerful. Now you won't see this because that's for administrators, but basically now what we have is a way for you to access research using our Get Focused function. So let's say my doctor has need for research on turmeric and breast cancer, and he doesn't know where to get it. Well, I'll go to breast cancer, and you'll see that pop right up. I click the research, it's turmeric research focused on breast cancer, and suddenly what you have is all 91 articles below. Now of course you can further filter it by study type, and at this point, even then, it's impressive, but maybe you just want to show somebody in an article you're writing, you want to link to the research, where you could create there a public page which now is indexable on Google. It's linkable in an email, you could link to it in a blog article, you could basically show the world, share it to Facebook. This is the research on turmeric and breast cancer. And on top of that, we've made sure that you don't have to drive traffic back to our site. We want people to click the actual citation location, which is on PubMed.gov, so that it really has the gravitas, that we are a pass-through. We just want people to be aware that research exists. We want to spread it as widely as possible, but we want people to actually learn more about the original source, where you can go in and type in turmeric, let's say, or curcumin, and find over 10,000 published articles. Look at that, 10,676. Now, of course, over the years, I spent a lot of time going through each abstract and trying to tease out those studies which showed clear value for natural health. Now, on the other side, we have this function, which is you click and you will get downloaded a full PDF with all the citations, linking again back to the location on Medline. And the beauty of it is as a pro user, you will basically be able to produce almost what is equivalent to a virtually limitless amount of public pages and PDFs, meaning over 1 million PDFs can be generated through that upgrade option alone. So that gives you a sense of some of the functions that we've created. Others include things like the Smart Search. So in this case, you may be someone who wants to individualize the research, and you might have arthritis. AC is article count, so you'll see that's drawing from a node with 307 articles. You might also want to prevent breast cancer, or maybe you have it. Let's just put prevention. And let's say you also have, headaches. So what this will do now is generate results pulling dynamically from all of the data in our database that will then push out results that show, based on our research, what would be good for you as far as foods, maybe supplements, and what you should avoid. So this process takes a little time, and this is an example of where our database is a dynamic one, and there's a number of different actual physical servers involved. So when we're generating results the first time, there's a little bit of a delay, as you can see. But generally, as more people use our site, these pages become pre-created. And that means that it's quicker to access. And in the case of the focused research pages I showed you before, because they're public, Google will actually acknowledge them relevant to people's inquiries, which ultimately has great benefits for everybody as far as spreading the word. So you'll see this is the type of PDF that you will get as an example. It's going to give you the studies under the topics of what is most significant for this individual and what to avoid. So we're hoping that that's going to enable people to really take advantage of the data in a way that wasn't available before, because you simply didn't know, based on your own particular conditions or your patients, what research is best for them. Now, on the other side of this, we have the ability for, let's say you're making a smoothie recipe. You have, let's say you have cumin in there, and you have flax, and you have coconut. Now look at this. It generates results that are going to be specific to what are the most therapeutic effects, like what diseases, for example, would likely be prevented and or in some way mitigated or reversed using this smoothie formula. The beauty of it, of course, it's not anecdotal. It's all based on published research. So it adds a certain gravitas to what it is that many folks out there are doing to heal themselves and others, right, using culinary approaches. So, for example, I'm going to just create the public page. Let's say you're a health coach or advocate too, and you want to really convince someone, you know what, this smoothie isn't just good for your how you feel. This has got actual medical benefits. Well, based on those 3 different substances, these are all the benefits that could be assumed to be possibly produced through this particular formulation. So this gives you additional research, saves you hopefully hours and hours of time finding all of that in one spot. And again, pro users get access to this, which is unlimited. Not to mention, pro users, I'm going to go back real quick, get to download all of these PDFs. These are PDFs that technically we were selling at about $29, in this case up to $49. And so now, technically, you have the ability to access those all in one spot in our database, and you can share it, of course, with virtually anybody out there, which is why we're so proud of the function. If I can find this particular PDF. Okay, here we go. I just want you to see, it's well organized. You have the ability to use the bookmark function too to sort through this, but it's just going to provide a lot of data to support what it is that you may already know, or in some cases it might help to enlighten you or other folks that you're associated with as to just how powerful the research really is. In addition, and this is not limited to pro users, we have a search abstracts function. So now you can just jump into the primary literature we've accumulated to look for a particular substance, for example, and disease. So let's go diabetes, and let's do curcumin. You search abstracts, and it should pull up all the abstracts relevant to those 2 search terms. And again, we're having some server upgrades as we speak, as we haven't officially launched, so I want you to see that we are working very hard, okay? Now, the background color is going to be changed here so you can see clearly, but these are the abstracts. You can add them to your My Research section, which is going to make it easier to go back and find what you need. And then we have our Find Articles section, which is going to be really the written articles, i.e. blogs, that we've produced over the years, and there's hundreds of them. And it's translational, right? You might really love a study on turmeric, but what I try to do in our writers is to really ground that research into layman's terms and translate. And of course, you have the Google icon for the overall search, because say you want to see our videos, you want to see our articles, you want to see abstracts, irregardless of the content type, when you get to the Google search function, you'll be able to type in anything to obtain the information that you're most interested in. So let's do turmeric again. Sorry. And so it's a traditional Google search. Not bad at all. So again, I'm so excited to introduce you to the new dashboard. Again, GreenMedInfo started out as a research project simply to make available to the public both access to and awareness of the national treasure house, which is PubMed.gov, and Medline, which is the database that contains all of these biomedical and life science studies. So please help support us. Do that by simply using the functions, as well as feeling free to share with others through email or through social media. And then again, those who feel that they can and they want to support this project as we move forward, please consider becoming a member, because it's really through membership that we have been able to create these resources. And if you go to the membership page, you'll get all the different recommendations from well-respected colleagues, as well as the different access levels of support. So once again, thank you so much for being followers of ours and supporters, and we really look forward to taking GreenMedInfo to the next level as we move forward. All the best.